Hello, welcome to this video. This time I'm going to talk about how we can find our true being, our true nature, by moving back through the generations of thought. And when I talk about generations of thought, I talk about how our mind, from being just one thing, start to split in different parts the further into these generations we move. When we move back, we can stitch together our mind so we can start to perceive from oneness, we can start to perceive from our true nature. A problem that we face as humans is that we are usually very focused on our conceptual reality. So we do not really perceive reality directly. We perceive reality through concepts. And when we understand this framework of generations of thought, the point is that we can start to guide our attention back deeper into our true nature so we can perceive directly. Now let's move into the different generations of thought. We'll start with the zero. So here there's zero thought. This is the ground of being where nothing ever happens. So there's not much to talk about here, but this is where all of reality is being projected from, but this is prior to any and all projections. Then we project the first generation of thought. This is where we have awareness of awareness. So this is a reflection in consciousness. And this is where we have pure experiencing. This is oneness, where we have one without another. And this state can be perceived either with or without objects. If it's without objects, well, there's only awareness of awareness. But if it has objects, there can be sensory input. But this sensory input do not really have to change the oneness, because one perceives everything as one seamless field. There will be pure experiencing. This is what I mean by perceiving directly, because we haven't split our consciousness yet. From this aspect of our being, from this aspect of our consciousness, is where we project the next generation of thought. And the second generation of thought is where we fragment ourselves from pure experiencing, pure oneness, to experiencing and an experiencer. So this is where we create the concept of self and other. Here we have duality. Now, from this duality, from this second generation of thought, we will project the third generation of thought. And this third generation of thought work as following. We have pure experiencing splits into an experiencer, and this experiencer splits again into its beliefs, opinions, positions about what's going on. So we have the concept of the experience. Now we have created a reality within the thoughts of the experiencer. So now we have split into three. Now, there's not just 1, 2, and 3 thoughts present here, but there are 3 different structures of thought here. So it can look a bit like this, where we have many thoughts within each structure, but there will be different flavors to each of these different structures. And we can also imagine this like the figure of the cake here. So everything rests on the ground of being. This is the zero. Then the zero projects the first generation of thought. This is the oneness. This is the pure experiencing. And from the pure experiencing, there will be an outgrowth of the experiencer. Now we are in the second generation of thought. And from the second generation of thought, there is one more outgrowth. And this is where we find the concept of the experience. All our ideas, all of our opinions, all our perspectives, and so on. These reside in the conceptual world within the experiencer. So we have 3 different layers here. Now it's important to mention that we are never not in the ultimate reality. We're never not our true self. But seemingly it can appear that way. So everything is a projection from the ground of being. So these are not different things. There's just one thing, but there are different apparent structures within this thing. So if we only experience through this third generation of thought, we can experience reality seemingly quite indirectly, because we are not in experiencing, we are only reflecting on what's going on. We are only reflecting on our experiencing through the subject of the experiencer. So we have moved quite far from what's going on. To understand this structure, this framework can be quite useful when we are navigating our consciousness, because we'll start to understand that to have the direct experiencing of reality, we cannot find them within our own thoughts about what's going on, our own perspectives, our own opinions. That is not the area where we find direct experiencing. We will not find it in our individuality either. That reality is also at a distance from the direct experiencing of life. If one meditate on this framework, if one contemplate on this framework, it can be useful in how one can understand and navigate the different areas of one's psyche, and one can move into the aspect of oneself that is prior to this split, prior to this fragmentation. And that was all I had to say about this topic. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.